Jully, every time I've been seeing you, something special, something spectacular has been going on. The last time I saw you was earlier in the summer, Canada's Walk of Fame, and
Yes.
your induction, which was long overdue, as we've all said. Now, certain words behind me is something that is so appropriate for you that is going to be happening with you. And of course, it'll be on CBC, the Legacy Awards. How does it feel that you are going to be honored in this magnificent way, which you absolutely deserve?
Thank you, Rudy. I always love speaking with you, and you've been there since day zero. So it's a huge blessing. It's a huge honor, especially with such a new award to be
Mm-hmm.
almost. I mean, last year was the inaugural. To know that so many of us who've been making Black history, Black art for our entire life, because that's what I represent, the Black lived experience, for it to be honored, for it to be recognized, for me to be ready to pass the baton to whoever's next. This is the beginning of a wonderful, bright future, and I'm just hoping that no different than NAACP, BET Awards, etc., that Soul Train Awards, that the Legacy Awards continues for decades to come.
I believe it will. I think this is a difference maker, and people like yourself being honored shows why we need these awards. I'm just curious, where were you when you found out about this? I mean, like I said, here you were busy with Canada's Walk of Fame, and then suddenly, bing, boom, pow, this happens.
Bing Boom Pow. It was soon after. My manager, Jason Reynolds, said, "Are you?" He called me. He's gonna hate this because I like to do his accent. He's such a highly educated Jamaican man that speaks a certain way. So he says, "Are you sitting down?" I was like, I can't take no more. What is it? And he read the letter that was
Mm.
sent, and even now, like, my knees buckled. I felt like my mom was holding me up, her wings wrapping me, and saying, this has been what you've been, working towards, in the sense of not just saying like, oh, give me an icon award, but no, it's the resilience, it's the endurance, it's the renaissance, it's the fact that this is the beginning of a brand new season. And so I was really surprised. Like, it was a sincere surprise, because even when we spoke about Walk of Fame, I said to you, Rudy, I was like, it's right on time. Even though some may think it's about time, I realize where I'm at in my maturity, my growth, being able to navigate grief, being able to navigate what life really means to me. It's a different time for me, so it's amazing.
It is when you think about the Black Jays also, and um, when you talk to somebody like Cardi and yourself and so many other members and everybody who was there in the beginning, the struggles, the sleeping in cars, going to shows, not even knowing if you could even be allowed to play at these shows, wondering if you were going to get airplay on certain radio stations.
Right.
When you think about the struggles, and I throw Cardi in there because look at what everything Cardi's doing right now, as an executive, as somebody on television, as somebody who is a role model. When you look at the struggle and look where you guys are today, how does that feel when you can look over and you can say hard work and success pays off?
Yeah, when I really think back, it makes me remember why I started. And because, like you mentioned, Rudy, not knowing if there's going to be radio play, airplay, television play, tours, and the struggle's still real. Like, there's a journey right now that I'm on to rebrand myself as a touring act, get in these venues as a singer. Like, hey, I sing, that's what I do. And there's that part of it, but realizing that when you understand your calling, then the journey doesn't seem that difficult. It's that more rewarding, because you're like, you know what? Okay, I think about Salome Bay. I think about those who Liberty Silver. I think about those Deborah Cox, those who came before me, who, the journey was so different. And even for me to look at Savannah Ray, to look at Leela Day, to look at Jesse Reyes, etc. Like, I could look at them and be like, wow, they're doing arenas, they're touring the world, but I still have to commemorate that their people came before me. Mishi Me, you know,
Mm.
watching Mishi Me get her flowers, in this documentary that's coming out as well. It's like, wow, our ancestors are really smiling. We are their wildest dreams.
Absolutely. And you have gone through so much struggle. You've had success and you've gotten through so much struggle. The struggle, painful, losing family members, not even knowing if you were going to have a career. I've mentioned this to you before on the red carpet. I want to mention this again because this was my personal feeling that when I saw you perform at Castle Loma for Sean Jones's Soul in the City. I was sitting towards the side of the stage and you were performing. Your hair was natural. You were beautiful. You were radiant. But when you performed, I could feel the pain in your voice as you sang, and tears were coming down your eyes, and we were all crying because we were feeling your pain. And there was, honestly, I felt at that moment there was some kind of release that happened. And for me, seeing your career, to me, that's when things change. Can you talk about, do you know the experience I'm talking about?
I do. I 100% remember it like it was yesterday. Even Jeffrey Latimer, said, I felt something come through you and off of you, and helped everybody in that audience be able to be vulnerable and surrender and have a breakthrough. It was my breakthrough. It was my breakthrough to even say, even right now, I feel the emotion to say, hey, you know what? I'm here and I need help too, And I remember it like it was yesterday, Rudy. I do. And I often say to people in my inner circle that I don't even recognize myself in the best way. It's helped me soften. It's helped me realize that it doesn't have to be as, I don't have to wear the armor. Even if the struggle's hard, I don't have to wear the armor, and it's okay to even have a bit more fight. That's why I changed the word in the anthem, just to be like, you know what? I want to use my platform to be an activist as well, and leave a meaningful legacy. So it's fitting that this award is coming. It's fitting that it's called the Legacy Awards, because that is my purpose in life, to leave some inspiration for even one person to say, you know what, Jully did not give up, even when she had minus 13 cents in her bank account and everybody turned their back on her. I didn't turn my back on me.
Let's talk about what you did in changing. It went worldwide when you just changed a word in a national anthem. It went worldwide and people were so proud of you. And in fact, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't there a ceremony done for you that you're involved with because of how you changed a legacy?
Yes, the Assembly of First Nations, 2 months later. So there was 8 weeks of kind of like turbulence. There was did I do the right thing? Not because of what I did, but how the backlash I was experiencing. And I took to prayer. My mom would say, just trust and believe you did the right thing. Like, no, stand behind your decision. Never you have regrets when you're doing something right, especially for somebody else. And the Assembly of First Nations called, and for National Chief Roseanne Archibald, the first female national chief of like 700 national chiefs, called and said, we want to do a blanket ceremony and present you with an eagle's feather, the highest honor in the Indigenous culture. And that was like a baptism. That was a deliverance. I felt like I totally dropped off years of burden, years of trauma, years of pain and frustration just like came off of me. It was unbelievable. I actually think I have my, oh, I do. Yeah. I have my eagle's feather.
Oh, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. There's a reason why when I see you, I always say my queen. I mean, my girl, of course, I will always call her queen, but there are certain people I add that to, and I add that to you because you deserve to be called a queen.
Thank
When
you.
you look back at the young Jully, Jully Black, if we could go back in time, what would you say to that young lady who had a dream of performing in front of a microphone, in front of an audience to perform her music? What advice, if you could go back, what would you say to her?
I would tell her that they're going to end up wanting to purchase a body that looks like yours. So love your body. I would tell her that the fact that you love Whitney Houston and you love her tone, you don't have to do vocal acrobatics. Just stick to your tone because you're going to have a unique sound that no one else is going to have. I would tell her that you being bold and assertive and courageous since kindergarten is going to pay off because the day's going to come where the First Nations are going to need you. I would tell her that the easiest person to be is her, and everyone else is taken. So just stick to your vision. Finally, I would say no matter what has happened or is happening, you may not have chosen it, but you don't try and change it because it's through your stories that many people, especially young girls, are going to recognize that their struggles were not in vain.
My queen, you deserve this so, so much. I am happy that I was part of this journey, still part of this journey. I'm gonna be in the audience. I'm gonna be there at the Legacy Awards. So I am so looking forward to seeing something that you so richly deserve. And knowing you, I'm gonna be seeing a lot more awards, a lot more controversy, a lot more groundbreaking, but a lot of history being made. And that's what you are all about, making history. I love you. Congratulations. Cannot wait to see you get this. Congrats.
Rudy, you as well. We are a part of the same quilt, the same fabric, and you as well deserve your flowers. I am nothing without Rudy Blair. Like this, you have to realize that you have amplified my voice for my entire career. And as you've been through your own journey and your own struggles, you continue to persevere. You keep that microphone in your hand to tell our stories and to tell your own. So I want you to, whether this is in the interview or not, I want you to know you're very much appreciated. I
I love you.
appreciate.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
Love you too.